Okay, so I am recording this on a Saturday night. It's just after midnight. Um, I wanted to do a thing. I had a couple of ideas of how to do it, but I guess because I'm on my night meds and I'm getting really sleepy, there's I don't have enough concentration to really do it to the best of my ability. Um, I was gonna do a gaming thing, and then I tried that, and I was like, I can't play a game and talk in any way, in any coherent way at the same time. And then I tried to do drawing, and that was a bit better, but uh, just too tired to draw. Kept losing my train of thought. So, um, what I wanted to do was, and this is, I probably should have got the point across at the very start, but whatever. I wanted to talk about mental health and mental illness and treatment and just attitudes about it and things like that. Um, so I don't know where to start. It's a huge spectrum of topics. But I guess I could start by saying why I'm in some way qualified to talk about it, because I've been mentally ill for my entire life. I have had a lot of experience dealing with psychiatrists and counselors and therapists, and I have a mental health nurse. I, I'm in um, I'm a client of a mental health service, so I do know what I'm talking about, at least from my own perspective of things. Like I have a lot of experience to draw from, is what I'm trying to say there, I guess. I know I say and I guess, and I don't know a lot, by the way. It's one of the things I suppose my mental illness causes, is that I get overwhelmed easily and I'm not very confident, so I start to ramble. Um, Oops, hold on, I have to belch. No, it was a false alarm. But yeah, I guess I just want to start a conversation about it and make people less afraid. I want it to be an acceptable topic of conversation, because I don't know, people just get very almost defensive or dismissive of it, and I don't know. It still has a stigma attached to it. I think it still has that air of, oh, that person's mentally ill, so it must mean X or it must mean Y. Um, when that's not the case. The metaphor I always hear is like, if you had a broken leg, you'd go get it treated, and everyone understands a broken leg, but they don't really understand mental illness. And I wish they did, because to be quite honest, I would rather have a broken leg than depression. A broken leg can heal itself, and with depression, you are forced to actively try to heal yourself from the inside out using the organ that is damaged. Um, just like your leg, the bones knit themselves back together, hopefully. Uh, your brain is what has to fix your brain, and that's hard to do when your brain is the thing that's not fucking working properly. Um, my voice might change a bit. I don't know, go up and down. Just whatever. I don't like my voice. I'm trying to change it. It's, yeah. Anyway, different. That's a totally different fucking topic. But yeah, I think there's, maybe it's changed now, but from my experience and from how I grew up and with the things I heard and the things I was told and how I was treated, there's guilt associated with it, like an awful lot of guilt. That's, why am I like this? Why can't I fix myself? You blame yourself for things. It's like, going back to the broken leg thing, which I will keep doing probably. It's like, you can't walk properly. You need crutches. You have a broken leg, but it's like beating yourself up for having a broken leg and getting pissed off at yourself because you have the world's shittest leg and it doesn't work right and it's your fault and you should be making it better and it should be going faster, and basically just tearing yourself to pieces on the inside because actually not even tearing yourself to pieces. It's like having a broken leg, blaming yourself for the broken leg, getting really pissed off at your leg, and then breaking your leg again on something else. Like you get annoyed at your broken leg, so you smash it with a hammer. That's what it's like. So shit, my brain doesn't work right. I have to try and fix it, but my brain doesn't work right, so I can't fix it. So I beat myself up. So I just keep going in this horrible, vicious cycle that just degrades you and just burns you out. I suppose I could talk about actual diagnosis, but I might go and talk about that at a different time. I was diagnosed with depression. That's all I'll give away for now. And anxiety. But that's the thing about side thing is just people like, oh, I have anxiety. Like, yeah, everyone has anxiety. What you mean is you have an anxiety disorder. And I think that's another thing about people misunderstanding mental illness is they go, oh, it's these symptoms. I know what they feel like. I experience this. Well, yes and no, because everyone experiences symptoms of mental illnesses, but it's when they become so extreme and so severe that it impacts your quality of life and your ability to live and have healthy relationships and get things done and have a normal life and support yourself. That's when it's a mental illness. It's not, I'm sorry, you don't just go, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm depressed. I'm like, but no, you're just very sad, or you're morose or apathetic. Like, yeah, you might have depression, whatever, you might be actually depressed, but I think most people say I'm depressed, they just mean that they're having some of the symptoms associated with depression. And the same with anxiety. It's like, oh, I'm feeling anxious, but that doesn't mean you have an anxiety disorder. That just means you're human. When you're sweating and you feel like you're about to die and you're having a panic attack, then that's a sign of a disorder. When you're tossing and turning in your bed, beating yourself up because you said stupid things or you embarrassed yourself or you made a mistake, and you keep doing that over and over and over again to the point that it is quite literally driving you insane, then you have an anxiety disorder. Or and the same thing can be said about anything like personality disorders. Like, just read a list of symptoms and you could probably point to times in your life when you felt that, but it's the severity and the longevity, whatever, how long they last. That's, I think, to my understanding, that's how you define a mental illness. And I could talk about medication, I could talk about lots of things. I didn't plan this really. I just kind of wanted to talk, and I'm sitting on my own, and I have a microphone and recording software, so I just started talking. If there's things, if anyone's listening to this, which I doubt, but if you are, if you've listened to me for nearly 9 minutes, thank you so much. It has validated this random use of my time. But if there's like topics about mental illness that you want to talk about or want to hear about, or you have thoughts, then let me know. I don't know, post it. I don't know where I'll post this, probably YouTube and SoundCloud, but if you or just have a comment about what I said already, go ahead and just send it on. I'll have a look and see if it spurs the conversation anymore. I guess what I'd love for this to do would be to make mental health a viable topic of conversation where people don't have to feel defensive or worried about what people might think, or, you know, just to make it, to clear the air, I guess. Or I'm terrible with metaphors and old sayings and stuff. Just address the elephant in the room, I guess. There, I used the metaphor correctly. But yeah, so I guess I'll waffle a little bit about what I've been through a tiny, small amount. I won't go into detail because it's a sad story. But I've been on so many kinds of medication. I've seen so many psychiatrists. I've been seeing mental health professionals since the age of 12, which means I've been doing it for 13 years. I still don't think we've solved the problem or gotten to the root of the problem, but I'm working on it. I know what depression is. I know what it feels like. I go through it. For a while, it was really, really, really bad. Anxiety, I know. Some behavioural issues, just stuff with development. I'd really have to pick something specific to kind of go into detail about, but I suppose if you know someone who's mentally ill, this might be interesting. And that's the thing, and that's another thing about like the label is, oh, they are mentally ill. That has a different weight to it. That has a different meaning behind it than they are ill. Because when someone's ill, you treat them a certain way, or you think about that a certain way. But when someone's mentally ill, it's like, oh, it's a special kind of illness. It's unusual. It's not normal. I don't know. It's like they are broken. It's not their body. It's them. Because it's your brain. It's what makes you who you are. It's where all your faculties come from. It's where your personality resides. It's where your memories are. It's the very core of who you are is sick. And that's a horrible thing to think. And that's another thing where the guilt comes into it. Because I personally have a lot of guilt about my mental illness and a lot of shame about it. And it's hard to deal with because the idea that you are broken, that you as a person are unwhole or sick or damaged, that is shattering. Like that can really break someone. But it can be healed. Your brain can heal itself, and you can direct your brain to heal itself because it's the only way to do it, really. And it's unfair, but so is life. It's difficult, but so is life. And another thing that I just caught myself doing there was like kind of being dismissive. You kind of just most people react to mental illness just put your chin up, just get over it, keep trying, and like that's good advice. But I think there are better ways to phrase those things, which I can't think of right now because I'm staring into the distance, gesticulating to nobody, and just waffling about a topic that's very important to me. So yeah, I could do more of this. I guess I could easily do more of this because once I get going, I can talk for over 13 minutes at least. So I guess I just wanted to break the ice with myself and try and get some kind of a dialogue going. So that's it, really. I could go into detail about different topics if that interests anyone. Questions about how, I don't know, experiences I've had with psychiatrists, different medications, what makes a good psychiatrist, I don't know, or what makes a good therapist, or how to go about therapy, like what to expect from it, I don't know, lots of things. And maybe it helps someone who knows somebody who might have a mental illness, or if you have a mental illness and you might be feeling alone or hopeless or a fucking horrible grayscale rainbow of awful shit, then maybe this might help you feel like you're not quite so alone. Because I know that's one of the big things I need to know, is that I'm not alone. Because you can't beat it on your own. You're the one who has to do most of the work, but you can't, at least for me, I can't deal with it on my own. You need people, even if it's just some random stranger on the internet, or someone you've heard of through somebody else, whatever. Just knowing that you're not the only one who feels this way, and you're not the only one who's gone through it or is going through it, and to know that there is kind of hope for you to get better, and that there's no rush on getting better. Because, again, you try and walk on your broken leg before it heals, your leg's going to break again, and it's going to take longer, and it's going to do more damage. So, try and keep that in mind too. I'll end this now, so just take care, and I hope this was even vaguely entertaining. I had fun, so I'll do it again, or maybe I'll talk about a different topic. Maybe I'll get people to talk to me and do this together. I don't know, whatever. Have a good time, and if you have any suggestions or anything, let me know, or any feedback. That'd be cool. Maybe I'll do some gaming stuff or drawing videos or whatever at some point too. So, bye, I guess. Toodaloo.